Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, assorted members of the jury, 1 minute and 30 seconds into this currently being played Age of Mythology Retold game. We are watching live on the ladder as two effectively, well, they place top three, both of them, like top three, top two in Pandora's box are going at it. Currently, we also do see this shenanigans going on. We've got the Sat Fat set shenanigans show match going on, and these games are contributing directly to it. We got Tunison currently at second. I see Recon is all the way down at 12th, so he's got some catching up to do. But if he does end up winning this game, then he will be getting himself a lot of juicy points, potentially actually helping Grass get up to top 2. But a lot of juicy points and all the other good stuff where that's concerned. So we got ourselves Recon playing as Amaterasu, and we got ourselves Tunison on his tried and true Uranus on a very, very good Uranus map here as well, this map being Steppe. Nice quick advance from Tunison. I think this is generally correct here versus the Amaterasu. You don't want to let Amaterasu get going here early without taking a little bit of harassment if you can. And yeah, that's the story that I'm going with. So we'll see exactly how Tunison wants to run this. He can either go for a aggressive opening with Mermillo. I don't like this versus Japan. This isn't really what I struggle versus. I think it's not that powerful. I think you're perfectly fine to play Minakata versus the Mermillos, and it's really fine. You can play a defensive game and get through it. But if the Uranus player opens counter barracks and goes into things like Catapultes, Turma, and Caraballister, depending on what you build, then that's where life gets just a little bit difficult. But anyways, yeah, Minakata and Oceanus. I'm not surprised to see Oceanus. There is a world where Prometheus is viable, but I think the issue with going Prometheus against Minakata is that you're spending all your favor on Valors, which leaves you with not enough favor for heroes to defend against the one unit push. So, yeah. When do I play? I'm a retired caster who plays video games in his spare time. I'll play at some point today, but I'm enjoying watching these games. The ladder's never been more active than it has right now, so watching players play the game is the thing that I think I enjoy the most. But yeah. Anyways, we've got the counter barracks is up. We got the military barracks up, and on the other side, we will see a guardhouse and a stable from Recon. Not surprised to see that. Great wall on the back here as well. Love to see these types of walls. These are things that everyone can do. Add this into your game plan to just prevent yourself from getting hit with a raid on the backside of your base and losing all your villages. Very, very nice. Of course, this side as well can get walled off too, and then the only places into your base are right through the middle, and you're good to basically defend everything as the Caladria does come forward, does spot what's happening, sees some archers out, and for the moment here, this is looking very familiar to what I've already seen. This is looking very, very familiar to what I've already seen from Recon. So Tunison as well, I think he was in chat when I was watching his other game. So he's going to know what Recon is actually going for. But the fact of the matter is, even if you know what your opponent's doing, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to get hard countered or be weak or anything. This gold mine out in the middle of nowhere, this is going to be the hard point here for Recon to actually deal with. I'm a little surprised to see Recon not having dropped the Shrine of the Hunt on the front position here. Because if you have yourself the Huntables here, then all of a sudden actually pushing through and harassing this gold mine becomes very, very tough. Of course, your villagers might get harassed, but you've got a Miko there to heal them up. And you should be fine so long as you have units there. Meanwhile, over onto the side, Tunison does get himself a sky passage there. He's still pumping out units for the time being. And I brought this up already, but I'll say it again. The hard part here for Uranus is that you don't have that safety net of just saying, okay, I'm going to stop building units and go heroic age because of the one unit. You have to really be very much in tune with how many units the Amaterasu is building and where the One Yudo are, how many there are. And equally, the Amaterasu players should also be very, very careful with showing the One Yudo. So things like garrisoning them into the temple, hiding them, and then popping them out when they feel like they've caught the Uranus player going heroic age and things like that. As well, yeah, this is another issue to some degree with this opening, but Bushido is free stuff, but free stuff and getting free stuff and losing a game is not something you want to do. And I'm not actually sure. I don't know. I'd have to watch some Pegasus Rush games to see an alternative way through this. But this way through from Recon, to me, seems pretty solid. The idea of grabbing this town center as well seems incredibly alluring to me. Like, you've got 4 boars, you've got a gold mine, you've got the units out to defend for the time being as well. You could have skipped the upgrades and gone for this town center, and maybe it would have been doable, especially with a Shrine of the Hunt over here as well to help out. But anyways, that's not going to be the plan here for Recon. And I get it. You don't really want to play 2 TC versus Uranus and give them the entirety of the map. But nonetheless, Naginata Riders get a little bit of that pacification in, and they have bled, but they will retreat, and they will get themselves healed up by the Miko, who is sitting there waiting, saying, "Come back to me, boyos. I will nurse you back to health." As Tunison pokes his head forward. I genuinely think, yeah, now he's getting the catapulties. I genuinely think that Tunison has made a misplay here in going for this amount of Murmillos, but we'll see if it's going to work. Great control from Recon, as is always the case. You want to go box formation on this retreat. Tunison is doing some nice micro, but the Recon micro is looking incredible as Shockwave does get dropped down. The Turma on the back here will be able to snipe some of these units on the back as the Murmillos are going to try and take out those Naginata Riders. But with the One Yudo in, it becomes scary to get massed up on there. And while the One Yudo are only doing around about, I don't even know if they're doing 1 crush damage per second with their attack, they are doing some, I think they're doing some divine damage. Yeah, they're doing divine damage every single hit. So it's every 1.8 seconds, they're doing an attack, which is going to be doing 2.78 divine for 5 seconds. So you don't want to sit in that ball and take huge amounts of damage there and lose any units. Fact of the matter, though, is you've got Caladria, so you can stay there for a little bit, as long as you don't lose the guys, and then run and heal up, and that's good. But so too can the Amaterasu get that healing through as well. So there's angles here for both sides, which is perfectly valid, perfectly reasonable, very, very strong, good ideas, really sneaky sky passage coming through here from Tunison. This is out of sight, out of mind to some degree. However, the Wolves might give this away if Recon is paying attention to his minimap. You can actually see, if you look at the minimap, Wolves moving quite a bit. If you notice that, then you know that something happened. I'm giving you some tricks. You might say, "Boy, that's map hacking," and I say, "Well, no, that's just part of the game. That's how it works. That's a feature, not a problem. It's a feature. You know, it's not a bug. It's technically a bug, but it's in the game, so use it if you can." Nonetheless, the units coming through, they will take out this sky passage on the side of the map. There's no sneaky citizen here from Tunison. We do have the Recon Naginata Rider searching for any sneaky citizen around there, potentially an oracle or something like that, but not going to happen. Not going to find them there. I definitely think that if you can consistently get one sneaky citizen in, like for example up here, then you or over here, or over here. Just put one sneaky citizen through every sky passage, every sneaky sky passage you put up. It just allows you to be a thorn in your opponent's backside way more than otherwise, as Recon has now decided it is time to put the pressure on. But Tunison, I think he's made the right call here in this game. He's spammed units. On the flip side here, Recon basically has to shoot and scoot. He can't actually take this fight. He uses the Naginata Riders a little bit, pulls back on his medium Yumi archers. I love the spread formation from Recon here as well, playing around Shockwave a little bit as the Turma get that Shockwave in. Tunison needs to shoot and scoot forward with those Turma. It's tough, but that's the only real micro that he needs to do. Everyone else can just attack move, so all he has to do is focus on the Turma moving forward. He might want to pull some units off here and actually attack these guys, but Tunison continues to charge in here, and Recon continues to pull back. Damage is done, but the control from Recon there is just absolutely out of this world. And Tunison does actually decide, after all is said and done there, to say, all right, I can't win here, so let me pull back, heal up, and go Heroic Age myself. I dealt with the one Udor threat. All that being said, Recon decided to push while going Heroic Age. Could you imagine if he just spent those resources and then did that? That would have been a completely different kettle of fish. Let's just imagine he had 8 samurai. Not 8, he can't have 8. Let's call it 4 samurai. 5 samurai in that army instead of going Heroic Age. I don't think he loses that fight. Fish kettle. Yes, kettle of fish. That's the saying. It's a thing. As Golden Kite going to come through, we've got the copper weapons. We've also got the shaft mine in for Recon. You can also think about putting up a castle. As we will have Hyperion now in pickaxe 2. And the walls do need to start coming up all across the map if you're Recon. This is the hard part about Step. When you're playing against Uranos on a map like, say, Valley of the Kings or Alfheim, you can shut the Uranos out somewhat easily. So you can shut them out somewhat easily by walls and by walling up. But on a map like this, in order to shut the Uranos out, you have to go wall from here all the way up to here. As the Naginata Rider checking what's going on over here. He's like, hello there. Any oracles? No. Any oracles? No. Main base under threat here as the watchtowers will slow things down a little bit. Turma can poke forward and try and snipe some Yumi archers on the back there. Of course, these Turma are very, very much wanting themselves heavy upgrades here. Very, very much. Does he see this? He has not spotted this sky passage. So Tunison is getting away with murder over there, considering he doesn't have any gold mines at the moment, and this is the only sky passage he has. It's a little bit difficult, a little bit risky here in this game. The other thing here is Turma getting heroized and getting himself heroic renewal allows them to not only be 3 or 4 speed. Maybe it's 5.5 speed, 5.5 speed. Can't remember, but it also gives them the extra HP and regen, which really helps versus the Yumi archers at 19 range. Sky Passage need to be deleted from this game. I think that the Sky Passage, I think a very fair nerf for Uranos is Sky Passages go from 3 to 2. That's my take on it. So in the Classical Age, you only have 2 Sky Passages. So if somebody wants to try and go up and do a Sky Passage somewhere and somewhere else, then they can't have one that's in their main base as well. So you have a point of attack in Classical Age. But in the Heroic Age, I don't really see any problems with 3. In the Mythic Age, I don't see any problems with 4. But I'm not here to change the game. I just give you my opinion. Tengu dives in, Sky Passage, gets obliterated. And now Tunison has to make his way over onto this gold mine. But while that goes on, Tunison also says, hello there, castle. Let me try and take that out. These Turma are going to be dealing a grand total of 1 damage Actually, not even 1. 4.1. That's like 90% off 4.1. It's probably 1 damage per second or something. Not very much. Not even that. Less than 1 damage per second. Anyways, Castle does manage to stay alive, and the Naginata Riders will scare Tunison off. Of course, there is chaos, but what do you want to actually drop the chaos on? Is the question. Getting a good chaos onto a Shogun, for example, could be pretty nice. I'm not sure if that actually works, to be honest, but no, I think it does. Wait, does it? No, it can't be targeted by enemy god powers, but I don't know. Anyways, units coming up to the top, checking things out. He can kill off the mana. Searching over onto the bottom here. Is this Oracle going to try and dart towards a safe place in the corner? It does manage to get to safety. I don't think Recon noticed that. Great reactions from Tunison. He's going up to a second town center over here. As the Catapulties will be in for defense. Really smart. He does also have himself weightless mace, so they're very, very quick there as well. Great control from Recon to bait away some other units, but 1 hero Catapulties does stay. That's going to be enough there for the safety, and a third town center as a response here for Recon will come up. He's already got his second town center, but Tunison has been enjoying the Aranos power for quite some time, but even that being said, Recon is going to be able to get to the Mythic Age, and he decides on Takamikazuchi, which I think is a little bit odd, just on the fact that he doesn't really have any infantry units. And Takamikazuchi is the infantry minor god for the Mythic Age. But then again, maybe his plan is to go into that here at some point. Looks like that's not going to be happening just yet. Destroyers slowly starting to come out for Tunison. Hello there, mister. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. I hope your son is doing well. Nice control from Recon, but control does get thrown away as the god powers start coming in, and the army of Recon getting absolutely carved through there. Chaos into Shockwave with all of these Turma is amazing. I don't understand why Yumi Archers are still getting built. This is the thing. Everyone thinks Turma are bad. Everyone thinks Turma are bad. But guess what? Turma are actually really, really good at killing off archers. That's their job. Don't build archers first. Let's get some samurai in here. Samurai would be an amazing addition into this army for Recon. Meanwhile, on the backside here, we see Hecate coming through. There is this town center up for for Recon at the moment. That has to be torn down. A couple of villages were picked off. There's still the back gold mine for Recon for the time being. He's going to be making his way up onto this top side. I want to see sky passages starting to get scattered everywhere. As the sword comes down, and Tunison, he drops 15 pop. Sword is very hit or miss. And that one, I would say, was a bit of a miss. It's not a god power you want to drop on an army that is not already taking damage. It's a god power you combine with your own army such that if they do go for a split, you're getting huge value regardless, right? Nonetheless, the army continues to come in here. Those Catapulties still getting some good damage. The Asura gets caught out over here. It will be worth it to drop the Divine Shield down there as well, but that's still going to be a dead Asura as the army of Tunison will start to get mowed down here. Picking off the Asura is nice. The game still in the balance as Recon has managed to hold himself fairly firm, but Hecate is now in. Third town center coming up, and ladies and gentlemen, we might be heading towards that ever elusive late game. To be honest, I don't like the Hecate here. I don't like the Hecate here from Tunison. I think Helios is the right call. We're not winning this game with one massive push with a Tartarian gate. And while, actually, you know what? Lampedes make sense. Lampedes always make sense against Japan because it's going to be able to help take out those samurai, but you do have to micro very well with them. As the tower goes down, Recon in full send mode as Arcus will slowly start getting dripped into this composition. Realistically, I'm thinking Fnatic here as well. Arcus, mass Arcus hero has to be the kind of play for Tunison with Hecate though. With not Hecate, with Helios. So with Hecate, it doesn't make sense. With Hecate, you want to just go into some strong infantry comp and overwhelm this with another chaos, basically. Infantry, cavalry type idea here would be maybe a little bit more solid, but the army here from Recon is incredibly powerful, as we do see some catapulties coming up to the top side. Going to be looking to drop a Tartarian gate. I want to see it in the main base most of the time here. He looks for a little bit of a raid over onto this gold mine. Maybe hitting it on this town center wouldn't be terrible because it prevents this gold mine from getting grabbed, but there's also gold here. There's still gold over here for just a little bit, and this position dying means this gold mine's going to be open as well. As Tunison says, if you're going to kill my town center, I will kill yours too. We can play this split push game all you like, no problems. Where's the other thing is you don't actually have to drop Tartarian Gate immediately. You can aim for it for when you want to, but you do have to make sure you get your unit in the right place and you're making a nice attack. As a palace coming down, champion archers, champion cav, deciding to come in here for Tunison as well as Recon. Has actually upgraded his archers to champion by himself. He's still a ways away from the tier 4 Bushido, so it sort of makes sense for him to get his other upgrades. And he's actually going to be going into some stronger infantry here. Sumo training and sword jutsu at the moment. That is a wild decision from Recon. He's not going to samurai. He's going into Yari spearmen at this point in the game when his opponent has 0 cavalry. Maybe he just got it by mistake. I don't know. But there's 0 cavalry in for Tunison. Oh, excuse me. There's the Turma, but that's it. I guess he wants to be able to kill off the Turma and allow his Yumi archers to carry him. So Yari spearmen do have that ability, I guess. What's their speed at? I think it goes up. Anyways. Castle. Gonna get taken down. We do see that Tartarian gate gets dropped into the main base, but Recon's already here. That being said, Tunison is pushing somewhere, so I like this, but he does need the rest of his army in as a castle goes down right in the face of Tunison. That is a huge move for Recon because now, well, Tunison has to focus here while the Tartarian gate is getting dealt with. And this isn't that important for Recon. And he might even be able to keep this alive as well. It's going to be close. Castle, 600 HP. The destroyers decide to pull back. And Recon now in what looks to be full control of this game, with the exception of one little cheeky sky passage behind here. Well, some hero Arcus coming in. Always nice to have these. The HP regen deals with the Asura. More damage on your Arcus. The palace will get dealt with as the destroyers are going to sneak in here, and they will be able to take out the castle now, no problems. The only issue is, what's the answer for the Naginata Riders right now? Catapulties are getting queued out for Tunison, but, like, where are they? How is he going to kill those off? Surely the Naginata Riders and the Yumi Archers are going to be enough here. Well, I guess Chaos is the answer. Chaos is always an answer. Why build Myth Unit when you can just Chaos? Do you imagine if he had 3 Lampedes in and the chicken upgrade rather than that Chaos? He would have killed off 4 Naginata Riders. He would have Chaosed 4 of them for them to be attacking themselves. And that's better than the Chaos was. little bit of damage onto the Recon Town Center at the top as the castle or palace is at the back here. He can almost take that town center down. We'll see if the army comp here from Tunison can actually get built fast enough, break through this, and basically get himself a town center back and almost, I don't even know, translate his advantage right now, which is small. It's mostly just on income. He has to translate his advantage and income into a tangible advantage with town centers or gold mines or things like that as the destroyers are going to come back in, try and take the town center down again. Meanwhile, Recon going for another town center grab. I'm not sure he can afford this. Nonetheless, the Naginata Riders coming through. And these catapulties are just destroying. They're making these Naginata Riders look like paper as they charge into their death. And the question is really, I mean, what are the Arcus even doing in this? I don't even understand. He's trying to take out the Yumi horse archer, sorry, the Yumi archers, but I just don't understand the Arcus at this point. Of course, you want Arcus to maybe deal with Samurai and things like that, but Fnatic's now going to start coming in. Makes perfect sense. Fnatic will take out the Naginata Riders, have a little bit more survivability, and the Turma will come in and try and take out the Yumi archers at champion. 17 range. That's looking quite nice, to be honest. If you can get the catapulties in the front, move forward with the champion Turma onto the back line, should be a way forward as the destroyer is coming back onto the town center again, but Recon has defended that for the time being. I guess the one good thing here is that the destroyers moving forward will make life hard for Recon, because Recon has to like click in the right spots as the Turma not sure what that misclick was from Tunison. They don't need to get that close to the Yumi archers, but they are having issues attacking at the moment. And is now moving into Contarius as an idea. Sort of makes sense, but this does allow the Yati Spearmen some value and all the other good stuff. I'm not sure Tunison is getting out of this one going through Hecate like he did. If he went Helios, would have been a completely different story, in my opinion, but he's still got some issues to deal with. Goldmine situation, however. This could be a problem for Recon, because Recon doesn't have a corner set up. This back corner needs to be dealt with. He needs to get over there. He doesn't have a market. He does have himself 3,500 gold, 1,400 gold, 900 gold over there, 6,000 gold for Tunison, and Tunison already has a trade route. So the question is actually, can Tunison get some half-decent trades to keep Recon playing in this game until he runs out of gold? And then find the win there. That's kind of it. But we'll see if he can actually make it work or not. It's going to be tough. Destroyers over onto this side. Naginata Riders are in to defend. Recon is well and truly aware that something is going on up here. He sees the sky pass. It's not the palace, but there is little to no chance for Tunison to make any ground over on this side. As the Naginata Riders will dive in here, and this is not the trade that Tunison needs. Tunison needs trades which are forcing Recon to spend gold. Then he did not spend any gold here at all. Another palace going up into the middle, but the Yumi archers taking down the poor destroyer here with only 76% pierce armor. He's getting himself his final pierce upgrade, but without that Atlas, it's a little bit lackluster versus those supercharged 10.1 pierce damage Yumi archers. But I think here for Tunison, his days are numbered, and Recon looks like he is going to be running away with the victory here. Still trying to make it work with the split pushing, doing everything he possibly can here. But when it comes down to it, he didn't play for the late game. He played for a Mythic Age victory by going through Hecate. Didn't really use the Hecate advantages either by not going into Lampedes, which kind of hurts. I think if he did do that, then things might have been a little bit different here, because the Naginata riders, they're not cheap. It's good value with the Lampedes. But anyways, the gold mine now secured. Of course, there is already 46 llama caravans. But the problem with 46 llama caravans here is that Recon has 0 trade. But he has gold income, and he has full population army. His army is absolutely gigantic. So you got a tiny army with very little population to be supporting that, versus a gigantic army. So it doesn't even matter that there's all of this gold income coming through for Tunison. It's the citizens going down. This one Omyorji is getting away with murder here. It is quite weak to just getting targeted. There you go. It will go down here pretty quickly. Generally, if you have like 3 or 4 of them, you can. Well, if you have 2 of them, one of them can out heal the town center to some degree. I think. No, it can't. But it can make the Omyorji just run back and forth and dodge the arrows. But anyways, there's not a whole lot here for Tunison to do. He's trying to spam out units. He's making some fire siphons, going after this town center. He will be able to take it. No, he won't be able to take it out. 200 HP in a dream. 100 HP. 60. 30. He kills it. He kills it. Chaos onto what? I have no idea what he used chaos on. It's on one unit somewhere. Where's the chaos? Up here? I have no idea what he used it on. Oh, he used it on the Omyorji. He used it on the Omyorji. That's funny. There's all of these llama caravans going to be getting smacked down, and I think that has to be their time for Tunison to throw in the towel. A hard-fought game from Recon. I think there was chances for Tunison without question here. There was definitely a spot here where Recon was going very heavy into like Cav and Archer, and we didn't really see him countering the army of Tunison, but he managed to get through that position somehow. The other thing that's weak about this Yumi Archer comp is Vortex. So that's got to be something for Tunison to think about for next game. Against this type of Yumi Archer play, go Helios, Vortex on top of the Yumi Archers, Chaos, kill the entire thing. Very, very, very strong. Tunison's a fighter, man. He's getting it on the town center up. His trade route is absolutely kaput. He's got 450 gold in the bank. But that there is the dub. Recon gets a win versus Tunison, and I wonder if this is updated. Do we see the difference for the SatFat set shenanigans leaderboard already? If I click this here, Tunison is still number 2. I don't know if that has been. Wait, if I click this here, does it change? No, Tunison's still up there, but I imagine Recon's climbed up a little bit after that game. But anyways, GG, if you guys enjoyed this one, this was an awesome game here from both players. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.